Peace, family. How we living? How we feeling? How we doing? Y'all might not be able to hear me. Just because of the position. I mean, y'all not gonna be able to see me. Sorry. Y'all should be able to hear me. Hopefully. That's crazy. Let's see what it is and what's up. It's really hot in my car. I'm like burning up. I got layers on. I do not like this position. I just don't want my phone to overheat, that's all. Let's hope that works. Alright. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, let's see what you have for the collective, please. I'm hearing like words of wisdom. Someone could be giving someone else some words of advice at this time. Or maybe something in this message you may need to hear. Thank you. The Nine of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, and the Four of Wands in the reverse. Something about pastel colors. Sorry, y'all. Let me just get a little comfortable. Nine of Pentacles. This is about doing something independently. You could be going into business for yourself. And I feel like people who are on the road to entrepreneurship don't realize how much it takes. It takes a lot. And you have to have what it takes. You have to have a different type of mindset, you know, to be able to get things done in a certain amount of time, a certain way. There's so much to it, you know, and it's an incredible experience once you get down certain things like paperwork and more paperwork and documents and all that stuff. So y'all could just be handling like the corporate stuff, or y'all are just handling like the boring stuff right now, you know, aside from a business. The reason why I'm saying that is because the Four of Wands is in the reverse. So it's not like you don't want to do it. Something just might not be like how you think it is. And just because you don't like something, or something is not like not as you pictured it to be, not to say that it's not for you, but there might be like a change of outlook on something, or some type of adaptability, you know. So you need to adapt to the situation. Does it have to be changed completely? Like, do you have to throw the whole thing away, you know? The Six of Swords, this is about being optimistic. This is about looking at things from another point of view. This is just about looking at it from a more positive aspect, a positive perspective. This is about walking away from, this also too is not getting into any situations to where you might be optimistic about it, but it also might be something that you don't want. Like, there might be some like instability here. Like, don't rush quickly into something that may look good. Like, I'm getting like glitters, everything that glitters isn't gold. Like, it looks good from the outside, but like once you get closer, it might be it might have just been a mirage. It might have just been an illusion, you know. What's this? Nine of Pentacles. All in all, I kind of feel like there's this like reflection. Okay, keep in mind, like, we are like water. We are a reflection. We are just reflections of our experiences sometimes. The Ace of Wands in reverse, yeah. Something may be urging you or guiding you to take a pause, take a break, you know. I'm hearing, and just relax, relax, relax. Put your head on my pillow. Yeah. So God may be calling you to just relax right now, just chill. No need to make any sudden movements or change anything right now. Like, I feel like the direction, like the instructions will be given to you at the best time that you need it. There won't need to be anything added or extra, you know. The Ten of Swords. This is healing, recovering, releasing. Right now you're just releasing and letting go of a lot, and don't ever think that God is done with you. And don't ever think that, no, and I'm saying that in a couple of different ways. Don't ever think that God is done, like, acting in your life. But don't ever think that God is done with you. Like, you make mistakes. We all make mistakes. So if you make a mistake, or if you fall short of your imperfection, that's okay, because God already knew that. God already knows that. God already knew that was going to happen. God already knew that was going to happen. But when the time is right for you to stand 10 toes on whatever it is, God's going to be like, yep, everything leading up to this moment was worth it, because my child got it right. My child got it right. You're not going to get it right on the first time, the second time. Everyone's journey is different. Everyone's timeline is different. Be gentle with yourself, but understand, like, the grace upon yourself and the grace that God gives us, like, is massive and immense. And sometimes we don't feel deserving of it, but God is saying, you've always been deserving of love, and especially my love. No one's love is greater than God's. No one's love is greater than God's. So I feel like that's where that Six of Swords is, having a better outlook, possibly just on you, yourself, how far you've come, the wisdom that you've accumulated, the lessons that you've been through, plus the mistakes you've made, the shortcomings that you've overcome. It's like you're reaching new milestones, you know? Not to ever feel bad or to feel guilty or ashamed for who you are, how you look, where you stand in life. No one is greater than the other. No amount of money, no matter of position, no matter of what status, position, money, whatever, lifestyle. You could be going through a huge lifestyle change at this time as well. The Three of Wands in reverse. You're going somewhere. You're breaking out of this, I'm not going to call it victim mentality. I'm going to call it more like limited, or what's the word? Fixed. Thank you. You're growing out of this fixed mentality. Like, things just have to be this way. Things just have to go this way in order for life to be great, or to be on, like, for me to be on the right track, I gotta be this way. And God says, you are so many layers, like, you are so many versions of yourself. You are so multidimensional. You can't put yourself in a box like that. Because at the time when something is needed in your life and it's like you kind of deny it, it's almost like you kind of denying that part of yourself. And God kind of needs you to like fulfill that part of yourself in order for you to move on to the next stage, whatever it is. Sometimes God is calling you to be a worker before you can be a business owner. You could be calling to being single before you can be in a relationship. You could be called to so many different areas of your life, because in essence, like, they are leveling you up. They're taking you to new levels of growth. You have to crawl before you can walk. You can't just walk. The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, there are going to be some delays. There's going to be some mishaps, missteps. That's okay. I feel like this is more so like of a learning journey type of reading rather than like people on the outside. We always get those readings about the people on the outside and the karmics and the this and the that, but I feel like right now it's about you. Because maybe the focus wasn't always on you. Maybe the focus was elsewhere. But now the attention is on you. Like, this is a very, like, pivotal moment in your life. Okay. I'm hearing seek and you shall find. Like ask and you shall receive. Like, whoa. Ten of Wands in reverse. Ten of Wands in reverse. Letting go of Five of Swords. Maybe you felt like God wasn't going to deliver, or there was a lot of empty promises from other people. But one thing God is not going to do is give you no empty promise. If God says that God is going to give you something, God is going to give it to you. We might not know when, we might not know where, what, when, why, and how. But one thing we know is God is going to give us what we ask for. If we don't ask for it, then closed mouths don't get fed. God knows the desire of our hearts, but if you've never truly acknowledged what you really want out of life, then how are you going to receive it? If you don't even tell the universe, God, whoever you subscribe to. You have to say it. You have to tell it. You have to want it. You have to know it, okay? So this is about also knowing what you want and not being afraid of it. Not being afraid of what you want. Not being afraid of taking the risk. Yes, you're going to have to go through the unknown. You're going to have to go through like possibly a period of darkness before you can reach the light. Or you're going to have to go through trials before you touch the milestone that you want, you know? There's going to be a lot of trial and error. There's going to be a lot of time you feel like has been just a waste. But really, it was to get you to where you're going. It might not seem like that, but I promise it's like all worth it. And that's just not my promise. Like, God promises, like, the time here on earth. One, God says don't waste time, but also God says time is not wasted. Because we're not on our time. We're on God's time. Like, God's plan is so much bigger for us than our own plans. That's what I'm saying. That plan that you think that's going to come into fruition might not even be what God has for you. God may have something way bigger for you. But you can't be afraid to let go of the ego and the pride and the control. You have to lean into God. Lean into faith. Surrendering and leaning into faith. The Fool. The Fool with the Four of Wands in reverse. Is you got to start somewhere. Self-development, feeding into yourself, like nurturing yourself, growing yourself, developing certain types of skills and lessons, and cultivating like skill sets, your mindset, something about like the tangible things. Like, this is just getting started with the Page of Pentacles. This is just maybe just planting a seed, or it's just sprouting. It's just begun. Like, something has just started. Something has, like, you haven't even started yet. Like, you haven't even, oh my gosh. Like, the best has yet to come. The best has yet to come. That's what I'm getting here. The best has yet to come. The Eight of Swords. But you can't see it because you don't want to see it. You could be in denial of what this is. You could be in complete denial. Unprotected. You might feel like if you go down this road, you might lose protection. I don't know if it's about approval or validation. I don't know. Protection. You may feel like you might not get God's approval on this. Well, that's why you have to ask God, do you approve of this? Before you go, you have to include God in everything. God has to be included in everything. If God has not been included, then it's not for you. If God has not been included in the conversation, then it is not for you. If God didn't intend for you to have a conversation with somebody, it was not for it to be had. Something about giving back, or giving back to the community. Some type of like exchange here. But it's more so the World in the reverse. It's like a lesson. It's like a lesson needs to be learned in patience. A lesson needs to be learned in sovereignty. Okay? How does it truly feel to move on God's timing? When you realize that you're moving on God's timing, you're not frustrated. You're not, it becomes, you have this like spirit or aura over you when you realize that you are not on your own timing. Because you have this air about you that's very like affirming and grounded, and it's kind of like surreal. It's kind of unnatural. That's what I'm really getting. You have this unnatural energy and aura about yourself, because it's like you already know everything is going to work out, because you've already surrendered to the spirit. You've already surrendered to God, and you've maintained this like level of discipline, and it's kind of hard to explain a little bit. The World in reverse. There could have been a period of time that rolling with, you may have been more rigid. Yeah, you may have been more rigid in how situations were going to pan out. And maybe it was discouraging you why things weren't happening. But like we talked about, like in reality, like it was all working out for the greater good. And even through, like, I feel like in these down periods, there may have been some uncertainty. And I feel like time and time again, like I feel like that's where the Nine of Pentacles comes from, is experience. having to pivot. When things don't work out, you just have to pivot. When things work out, you talk to yourself differently. When things don't work out, your mindset changes. When things don't work out, the movement and the motion in your day-to-day life changes. When things don't work out, your reactions, your feelings, your everything about it changes for the better. Going through things change people. People don't like change because people don't react to change as well as they think they do. Having healthy ways to cope with change. The Four of Pentacles. Some people could be stuck in their ways, stuck in their visions, stuck in their ways. This is about building stability. But I feel like this stability is this stability is different than something that you've encountered already or will encounter. The stability is different. It's not just a relationship. It's not just a home. It's not just... The Four of Wands is more so action oriented. The Pentacles is more grounded, like in the ground, roots, foundation. Something is coming out more stable than you realize. Honestly. Something is like coming into, like things are coming into place. Situations are coming into place before your eyes, and you might not even see it that way because you have been in this reality to where things didn't work out for you, like, and then it's like it's like getting a no after a no after a no after a no after a no. You get used to this next thing being a no, but then when it becomes a yes, you be like, is this for me? Like, you have to try hard not to sabotage it. God does not want you to sabotage the next best thing. But God is going to give you the assurance, like when you do move on God's time, that next best thing, you're going to know that it's deserving. You're deserving of it because you realize, like, you've put in the time, you've put in the effort, you put in the dedication to whatever it is. And this next step in your journey is gifted almost to you, and you treat it with honor, you treat it with respect, you treat it with you treat it differently. That Two of Swords, that oh my gosh, you can't be afraid of things not moving. If it's not moving right now, it's not time for it to move. That's point blank, period. If it's not moving, it's not time for it to move. It will move. Nothing stays still for too long. Nothing stays still. If it's still right now, if things are not moving right now, there's a reason as to why they're moving right now. It's just not up to us to comprehend everything right now. This is not the time to be like anxious or worried or begrudging God over why things aren't moving. You say, God, what do you need me to pay attention to right now? What else outside of the thing that I've been constantly worrying about? What needs to get done? What other responsibilities, what other obligations are you being, like, am I being granted at this time? What else do you need me to take care of at this time? Because it... There's so much more to be looked at than whatever you're thinking about or looking at. There's more to the puzzle than that one piece. You're so worried about putting this one piece in the puzzle that you realize there's a whole other. You can always come back to that piece, go to another piece, and put that piece. Because there could be a piece right next to the piece that you're trying to connect in the puzzle when one piece is already fitting in alignment with the puzzle. You're working so hard on making something so right and so perfect and got to get just right. There's a piece that's already ready. There's already a piece waiting to be put in the puzzle. But you're so busy looking at this one piece trying to get it in when there could be an easier way, an easier route, and that's what God is trying to get you to see. There's an easier way. There's an easier way. Taking the path of least resistance. Not being afraid of the truth. You could be presented with a truth and be afraid of it. But you're only afraid of it because you didn't feel like it was ever going to come. But now that it comes, you're like, wait a minute. Now you feel trapped again. Because the same thing that you have been waiting for that kept you in this